Welcome, everybody. Today we have Dark Divine on our, I think this is like episode 6. I actually don't really know. I feel like it's been like a week or two since we kind of put something out, but I have our special guest here. Very, very excited to have you guys on here. If you guys don't know who Dark Divine is, I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. These guys have almost 10,000 followers on Instagram, which is pretty sweet. 10,000 on YouTube, pretty close to there as well, which I'm pretty excited about, especially being a small and upcoming band, and a band that only has like an EP out, signed by In Vogue Records as well, which is impressive. 72,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. You guys are killing it right now. Some of your songs right now actually have like over 500,000 views, or sorry, plays, which I think is very exciting for a smaller band like yourselves that's just kind of coming out of the woodworks here. This band has been pulling out some wicked metalcore music. If you guys are fans of like Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, this is definitely what you need to be listening to. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about how this band really got off the ground. A lot of the things have been happening with this band. Obviously, the new like being signed to In Vogue Records, and another cool thing that I saw recently, which is going to be great, is you guys actually got to play and like sing with Chris Motionless on that tour that just passed through. So very excited. If you guys like everything that you hear today, I just want to say, if you don't know this band, definitely go give these guys a listen. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys are fans of Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, Lorna Shore, Goblin Noises, Halloween and Makeup, you definitely need to check out Dark Divine. So guys, how the fuck are you guys?
Doing good. How are you?
I am fantastic. No, it's really cool to have you guys on here. I feel like you guys have been just motoring with everything that's been going on with you and your band. Now, as some people know here in my community, that my girlfriend actually found you guys on Spotify. Wicked bleghs in the song Halloween Town. Blew up like crazy. So I just want to say thanks for keeping the blech alive, first and foremost. And two, like, just like, how has things been going? I feel like things have just been blowing up right now. If you want to kind of introduce yourselves, your names, where you guys are from, let's start off with that.
I'm Anthony. I sing. I'm from Orlando.
You do be like that.
I do be like. We're all from Orlando, actually.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not.
No. Okay, we all of us. In this room.
In this room, yeah.
Yeah. Chris and I play drums.
I'm Jay.
And we are Dark Divine. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. So hailing out of Orlando, Florida, the land of like Disneyland and Universal Studios. I've only been there a handful of times, but one of my favorite places to go down that way and down south in Florida. I've been to Miami. Daytona Beach was my jam back in the day. I love just hitting the beach there. And what's that? Why? Oh no. My dad was like a big like NASCAR fan, so like going to like the tour for the Daytona 500.
Tell me like spring break was your jam out there.
No, I was never that kind of guy. I've been a grinder, man. Like not that kind of guy either. I just mean I just grind with work. But no, and I think that it's really fun to like kind of sit down with you guys and kind of pick your minds apart, because I feel like you guys have been grinding as well. Your first song that kind of came out with Halloween Town, I was kind of looking at you guys before coming on. It's got like over like 160,000 views. Is that your first song? Like, is this your, I think this is your actual first EP, but like, did you have stuff before this? Like, what's the history behind you guys?
The first song that we wrote together as a band. And we didn't even know it was going to be a Halloween song. Like, me and Tristan kind of worked out the music, and then we sent the demo to Anthony. And we didn't even know what kind of band we were going to be at that point. We were like, are we going to be like a wage war kind of band? Are we going to be like what's our sound going to be? And then Anthony sends
just fuck up.
He sends it back, and he's like, I'm like, all right, I guess we're a spooky band now, because
spooky core.
Oh, I mean, it was dope, because like all of our side conversations outside of music had been about like horror movies and shit anyway. So it kind of just fell into place.
Yeah, we literally were like, all we talk about is horror movies as a band when we're all hanging out. So it was like, we should just be us. And that's who we are.
Do the things. Just exist.
It's the best way to be, man. I love how you said like Wage War band, because aren't they from Florida as well?
Yeah,
they literally record in the same studio that we recorded the EP at.
yeah.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, Wage War is obviously one of my favorite bands. So every time I bring up Wage War with Hardcore Keem, I don't know if you know that reactor. He plays in the Browning now. And yeah, he always rags on me. He's like, oh yeah, those Florida boys, and yeah.
Doesn't he live here? Yeah, he's in Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah, he just recently moved to us, so I don't know if he's actually in Tampa or not, but he's pretty close with Johnny from the Brownings, which is really cool, which I have been on his podcast as well.
Yeah, Johnny's a nice dude.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool dude and someone good to know as well. Like, I know he's been in the music scene for a long time, which is really neat. And he's very business minded. So we had some good conversations on that one as well. But yeah, so you guys have how many songs are on this EP that you have? 7? Oh, okay. So it's like almost borderline LP.
Yeah, we could have made it an album. We had like 2 other songs that were completed. Yeah. And we just felt like, they just weren't good enough to be on there. We didn't want to just throw on, 8 or 9 songs that were, perfect to us.
I don't think it wasn't like good enough, but like we were like, you were writing so much and we were getting like so much work done that it's like, we were just one-upping every song after. So, it was like, it was hard to feel like good about releasing 2 songs that you're like completely over and like, they're badass, but we're way ahead of them now. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like when you release music, you're hearing. It's like when you look at stars. Stars are happening and burning like 1,000 years ago. When you look at them, like when you hear our music on Spotify, you're actually hearing where we were at musically like a year ago,
months ago. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
No, I can totally relate to that. It's even the same with my content as well. Like a lot of the stuff is just one-upping each reaction. Like not even so much just like jamming hot dogs in my mouth or anything, but like just like completely like editing style, just something to say, just catch people's attention and stuff as well. Obviously they're very genuine with my reactions and stuff. I usually do a lot of them live, such as your band, and my girlfriend actually introduced me to you guys, and it was like the day before Halloween last year, so that song came out and it was just perfect. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking throw this banger out. And I just felt like either it helped you guys a little bit more, which it probably did in a little bit of sense, but you guys just went a little bit viral with it, which I thought was really, really cool. But coming off of that, I think it's really cool that you guys are just progressing and stuff like that. And I think I saw in the one of your TikToks, it was like you guys are just kind of I can't remember what I was talking about. You guys were just like on the verge of like, just not ready to release like a full EP yet, or sorry, a full length album, and just kind of like just one-upping everything and perfecting your sound, really, which I think you guys have been doing a lot. And it kind of segues into a kind of a next question here of like, you guys definitely do have a little bit of like a motionless and white sound. Ice Nine Kills, and you guys have kind of been experimenting with a little bit more of like this Lorna Shore kind of vibes too, with the goblin noises, which I like to clickbait my stuff for YouTube and that, but I just want to ask you guys, like, with all these noises and stuff that's going on, and the little bit of sounds of Ice Nine Kills and Motionless and White, how are you guys taking that? Like, do you find there's a lot of people that are asking, like, you're just a carbon copy, I guess is kind of the new lingo right now, of those bands? Like, are you offended by it? Are you like heartbroken from it?
I mean, I'd say that everyone has influences, especially like right out the rip. Like when you start a band, like you're not gonna hone in on what you're going to sound like 5 years from now, right out the gate. You have to have your established influences that you can build off of and see what works and see what feels good. And I think that's kind of the stage we're at. We're definitely making some like experimental changes in some new sounds that you probably haven't heard from Dark Divine before. But yeah, no, I don't take any offense to it, because I just, no, 100% sounds like, this and this, because I'm influenced by this and this.
Yeah, it's just like Motionless and White, like even Chris Motionless, a lot of people say he sounds like Breaking Benjamin, and like identical even to the melody sometimes. So I totally get that.
I mean, like on Reincarnate, when I first heard Reincarnate, I thought it was literally Marilyn Manson singing the verses. Like, so it's all like, it's fine because when someone says, oh, you guys just sound like Motionless or Ice Nine, I'm like, okay, cool. Name 10 other bands that sound like Motionless and Ice Nine. You can't.
Yeah.
But if I were to say, name 10 other bands that sound like All That Remains or Dayseeker or, you know, Wage War, you can probably name 50 to 100.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
So it's kind of like those are the two most obvious, but at least, you know, at least the genre itself isn't super crowded. We felt like there was a lot of room in here to experiment in this genre to where we could like build on what we like, but also do the things that are kind of like Lorna Shore inspired and take from other genres that we really like. Because I mean, you said it best on one of those reactions. You're like, I've never heard Chris do a fucking a brie.
Yeah, the snarl noise or a brie. Yeah, I know. I'd say that all the time. I'm like, Chris, like, come on. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
so
Slaughterhouse is really fucking cool how they had Brian on there too. But
yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, we want to be able to, you know, what's stopping us from having ballads, but also having songs with pig squeals and breeze and everything. You know, like to us, it's like we're fans of all that. So why can't we just do all of that?
Yeah.
And yeah, we might lose some of the hardcore kids, but like we'll keep their girlfriends.
I love that line. Keep their girlfriends. Because you know they're coming. You look at Blondie back there over there. He's the forefront of this.
Yeah. Look at the hair. They're coming.
They're coming. That's kind of like Will Ramos as well. Like I feel, what was it? I was listening to another podcast. I think it was Metal Burb and Hardcore Keem. They had some conversations and they were talking about it. It's like, man, Lorna Shore, like, look at Will. He's just this fabulous looking dude. Like, of course there were more women at that show than you would normally see.
Insane. That's insane for that style of music, man. Like, good for him. Good for the band. Now they get to reap the financial reward of having that higher female to male ratio at their shows.
Yeah, and more ticket sales too. Like look at their tour that they just sold out every freaking show.
Yep.
It's insane. So actually, I mean, I don't really have this one on here, but I'm just kind of curious, like, what are your guys' thought about Lorna Shore and how they're blowing up and stuff like that? What, like, are you guys big fans? What'd you think of the new album?
I haven't listened to too much Lorna Shore. I definitely like the big songs that exist, you know, like To the Hellfire and the other one.
All right, so he's a Motionless and White fan.
I'm like, until very recently, that was honestly my breakthrough into it. I'm kind of a basic bitch.
Yeah, he was like, hey, I think I'm gonna do some Will Ramos shit on this next song.
Hell yeah. I mean, it works in your favor as well. Like when I heard those little snarls and everything in the last song, I thought it was really cool. And I mean, even with your TikToks and everything, like you're kind of capitalizing on these new trends, so to speak. And that's another thing that I kind of want to dive down into as well, because I think you guys are capitalizing on this stuff where other bands aren't. I mean, not a lot of bands. I mean, I try to tag them in these TikToks and everything. And it's like, bro, why aren't you on TikTok? But you guys have been doing that. You've been on the trends. You've been on the Bad Omens trend as well. I've been seeing your one take covers of that, Lorna Shore Snarls, and the Motionless and White masterpiece thing, which I saw hit like a 1.2 mil views on that, which is amazing. I just want to say I think that's the smartest way right now in terms of social media to be promoting your band, getting your name out, getting your face and brand out, so to speak. So I think you guys are doing everything right in that aspect, whether you listen to Lorna Shore or not. I mean, some of you guys might with the blast beats and this and that, but like, it's just really cool to see someone like you guys incorporate that into more of a metalcore genre. So rolling off of that, like I think it's really cool that maybe you guys don't really listen to that, but it's still incorporated to, I guess, cater the rest of the genre as well, kind of like grabbing bits and pieces. Like, because me, I like deathcore. I like that stuff, which kind of just recently got into because of reactions, but then I'm a metalcore kid at heart, so hearing that in there, I'm like, whoa, all right, now we're talking. So
yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier, like there's no reason why you can't take all your favorite things and just as long as it's done kind of like tastefully and you're not over like if we did a whole song of breeze and snarls and bleghs, we wouldn't be Dark Divine at that point. Right. But like doing a breakdown or doing a verse of it, that makes sense for us. And like, you know, like I said, we might lose some people, but I'm sure, you know, it will gain others. So it works out.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even the traction that you guys have as well going forward. Like, I mean, you might throw a little bit of this over here, a little bit of horror over there, deathcore sound over here. It's gonna come back, I think. People are always watching, whether they like you or not. They are always watching you guys. So, you know, you might put out something that just might trickle them back in, and you guys kind of like build off of that. That's just from my experience of what I've kind of seen. But I think you guys are doing all the right things, and which is really cool that you guys are signed off of like a 7-song EP.
Off of a 2-song.
Oh, 2 songs.
So we got signed after we uploaded the second video to TikTok, and we actually got signed because of TikTok.
Yeah.
The label manager at In Vogue, Nick, God bless him, I love the guy. He emailed me while I was on a cruise, and I had the shittiest reception on the planet. It's taking me like 30 minutes to send and receive these messages.
No.
So like I'm waiting with like bated breath every time I send an email, and it's taking one time it took almost 4 hours to get his reply. And I was just staring at my phone. My wife is looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I think we're about to get signed. But you leave me alone. I got to figure this out."
Yeah, here's some money. Go buy some drinks and get the fuck out of here.
So like, yeah, it's taking forever to get these responses. But he's like, "Yeah, I just saw your song called The Fear on TikTok, and I'm just wondering if you guys are looking for label support." And I mean,
that was a maybe.
He was like, yeah, exactly. Who's asking? And he was like, "Yeah, dude, I think you guys are great. I saw Halloween Town and I saw The Fear, and when you get back in town, let's talk." And then it's 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, we only had 2 songs released when we got the record deal.
Wow, that's insane, man. I played in bands and stuff. I've done the Battle of the Bands thing. I've done so much and like been in front of like Universal records and stuff as well, and been approached, and you know, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, I've grinded in bands and bands and bands, you know, have like a good amount of songs to put out there to kind of support if we ever went on tour type deal. But to hear that off of 2 songs, man, that's insane. So go ahead.
Well, they definitely took like a risk on it, and they just sort of like, you know, well, obviously there's not a whole lot of content out, but we had a lot backlogged ready to be released once they.
Well, and that's the social media thing that you were talking about. Like, yeah, we only had 2 songs out, but like you take the material you do have and you put it out there, and we just took that extra step that, like you said, we didn't see a lot of extra people doing. And we actually sat down and had a conversation about TikTok and about social media and like what we could improve on and what we think, like all those earlier videos were just ideas that we were like, okay, like, let's see if people enjoy this type of content or this type of content.
Yeah, we tried to do the comedy thing and we sucked.
Yeah, we have more better material than
the actual video.
Yeah. So it definitely worked. Like we definitely put thought into it. Yeah, exactly.
We didn't get our first like video on TikTok, like number 7 or 8 idea that we put up on there, and even then it only got like
music video.
It's just literally video.
I spent 8 hours at a fucking practice.
But that's the thing. Like you just get your product in front of people, and you never know. Like you never know. And like I wish more artists, like you said, were taking advantage of it because it's right there for everybody.
Free. It's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
But
yep.
No, you guys are doing exactly what I wish other bands were doing as well. And like I said, these other bands that I'm trying to tag in, that I'm doing reactions to, they're banger songs. It's like, man, I mean, the reaction scene has, you know, kind of obviously picked up during COVID and stuff like that. And, you know, it's weeded it out to its, you know, bigger reactors that are out there. I don't consider myself big or anything, but like, I just have a lot of fun with finding new bands, and it's just really cool and taking advantage of, you know, TikTok. And like now my Instagram is like just going off the fucking rail right now. And seeing a band from like 5 years ago hit like 6 million views in content views. And it's like, like, this is insane. The band doesn't even exist. Apparently the singer in that band is actually the bass player of Boundaries. So it's just, yeah, I know, right? I know he comments. He's like, no, I'm in a band now called this. And I checked out that album too. It was really cool. But it's just really cool to see that, man. Like, I mean, I took a risk on it as well. I mean, I'm like 33, I think it's how old I am. I really don't know. But like, you know, TikTok didn't appeal to me. I don't want to be twerking, even though I twerk in my reactions now. But it's like, man, people have like really took this app and like really took it to their advantage of getting out there for people. So I think it's just really cool to see you guys do that. And I see other content creators doing that as well. And I think they're starting to catch on. But then you see these like smaller people and they're just blowing up like crazy in your guys' case to get signed like that. I think is really cool. I mean, I don't know a lot about In Vogue Records, but like what does this kind of mean for you guys as having a record label under you for support? I mean, I guess that's kind of the first way I've really heard that. And me and myself, I'm like, you know, that's every band's dream is to be signed. So like, what is the advantages to you guys? Maybe even like outside of this label as well, or like, I just don't know personally much about labels, or maybe other people that are listening maybe don't either. But like, how big of a deal is it to be signed by
it was a big
label
deal for us because we were going broke, having to pay for everything ourselves.
Okay.
Like every time and recorded a song, we were spending between like $6,000 and $7,000 between
because we weren't settling
in a video and then all this other stuff, and we were just like, you know what?
I work at a grocery store right now.
He was working at a grocery store like $80 a day or something. So we were like, all right, so the label's gonna own the masters. Okay, that sucks, but what is it gonna do for us as far as exposure? Who's running the label? How good are they at what they do? And that's kind of when we did some research and found out that that Bob Becker, who founded Fearless Records,
he's the guy for
he owns In Vogue now.
Oh,
so we've got the owner of Fearless Records on a conference, on a Zoom call with us. And he's sitting there and he's got a Pierce the Veil plaque behind him. He's got a High Prevail plaque behind him. He's got a, what was it?
Wage
Wagewar's on that label too.
Plaque though. But yeah, so he's got all these big Fearless bands with plaques behind him, and we're just sitting there. And because Bob's not the one that reached out to us, his label manager for In Vogue reached out to us. So I didn't know who Nick was. I looked up their roster of legacy artists, and it was like Dayseeker. They were on In Vogue. It was
Hawthorne Heights.
Hawthorne Heights had a record on. So like we were like, okay, this seems like a good developmental label. Oh, yeah, the Plot New. Yeah, that was another one. We were like, it seems like a good developmental label. We're kind of 2 songs into this band. Let's see what happens. And then Nick one day was like, oh, by the way, Bob's going to be on this call. And I'm like, Bob? Who's Bob? He's like, Bob Becker. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who that is. He's like,
Bob's your uncle.
He's like, yeah, Bob, I call him Papa Bob now. But he's like, oh, yeah, he founded Fearless Records back in like 92. And as soon as he said Fearless Records, I was like, oh, did we just hit a fucking home run and not even know it?
We really didn't know it. And then it all snowballed. And like, it turns out like our entire team and everybody who like works there is just like
been in the game.
Incredible.
They're all from Fearless. I mean, there's a bunch from Fearless. Obviously, Nick In Vogue was Nick's label, and him and Bob became partners in Vogue and his other label, Thriller. So it was just, we sat there and talked to Bob, and after 5 minutes talking to him, I think we kind of were, we need to sign a contract with this label. Like,
I got my pen right here. Where do I sign?
So other than the money to like help pay for everything that we needed, it was really just the fact that they knew all the people that we wanted to know.
Yeah, that we needed.
I mean, Bob signed Motionless and Ice Nine Kills.
Shit. Yeah. So I guess that kind of came in your favor of having a little bit of their sound.
Dude, it was like Bob was like, okay, I know what this band is. I know what their sound is. I know what their image is. Capable. He's like, I think that, you know, after he sold Fearless Records, I think he kind of looked at us as kind of like a challenge. Maybe, you know, hey, maybe I can develop these guys into like, you know, the next, you know, big spooky band or whatever. And we were all for it. We were like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Man, that is wild. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's like every kid's dream playing in a band right now.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time. We're like,
yeah, this all we went from nobody knowing us at all, and like all of a sudden, like this guy Bob Becker is like blowing up our phone and being like, "All right, guys, enough of the bullshit. Let's get to work." We're all like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, can you be in the studio tomorrow to write those songs you said you had? Yep. All right.
Doing my job now. It's all good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's insane. So I mean, like I get like some labels do have a little bit of like Thriller and In Vogue Records as well. I guess branching off of Fearless there. I mean, I love the bands off of Fearless. I'm not going to lie. I love Wage War. I love, Motionless and all that stuff. Actually, they're on Roadrunner, but like, I mean, when they got signed, I guess. But like, it's just a pain in the ass to deal with that fucking label in terms of reactions. If you guys can contact Bob for me to lift my blocked fucking videos.
Bob sold Fearless. I think he sold Fearless back in like 2016 or 2017. He retired. He got out of the game.
Okay, so Bob's no longer there then.
And then he got, no, that's what happened. He retired from Fearless, and then he got bored and came back and made Thriller and started up Thriller and In Vogue again.
Gotcha.
So now he's like, I want to rule the world again.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna do it with this other label.
I mean, that's a pretty cool thing to do. I mean, I feel like I'm like that in a way as well. It's like, I got my channel. It's doing pretty well. It's like, let's make another channel and see what we can do with this one. And like, I get the grind in that. When you're just in bed with that just personal stuff like that, it really hits home. So that's really cool. I mean, I didn't know as far as like, I mean, I knew it was really good to have a label. I get, I guess a lot of people say, record labels are evil and they own everything that you have. You get paid at like next to nothing type deal, but you're getting all this exposure and everything. And like, I don't know if this is like a solid thing for in Rogue, and you don't have to say anything about it or like what your contract is in terms of all that stuff. But like, it's just really cool to see you guys getting your foot off the ground, especially off of 2 songs. It still blows my mind when you guys, because I've had this conversation with you guys in DMs, and that's why I wanted to bring it up today, that like you guys said, like, because of TikTok, you guys got signed. Yeah. That is off of 2 songs. Why? Like, people are grinding their asses off.
Followers that we have, like 14. I think we had 1,400 TikTok followers when they hit us up.
Yeah, man, that's great. Where's my check mark? No, it's cool. I think to see you guys have your check marks and everything, I think is really neat. But it's crazy. It really is, man. Sorry, go ahead. You cut in there.
Did you get verified on TikTok yet? They're
really
no. They're not verified on TikTok.
No, I know. It's just Instagram's way easier, but like TikTok, I hear they just kind of do it at random. Like, there's no way to submit to say, hey, I am who I say I am.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Girl twerking on a concrete wall, you get verified. Comes for Avenged Sevenfold, you get verified.
I don't know, man. Like, I've been kind of wondering that as well about the check mark. I mean, like, I know you guys have it. You guys are like a lot smaller in terms of like followers and stuff like that than a lot of other bands and stuff. But like, I see it all the time. Like, bands have like 5,000 things. Like, are they paying for it? And so I know you guys aren't. You guys have the proper label to back you for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it goes by how much press you have out there in the real world. Like,
and that's what I've learned as well. I think I tried to apply for the Instagram stuff, and it's like sending your interviews and this and that and like just formal content. And I'm like, bro, look at all the shit that I'm posting. You can find me anywhere on the internet. Where's my check mark?
I am the interview.
You ever heard of a BLEGh? No, I just think I think it's really fascinating for that. But like, I don't know if I really want one. I mean, I listen to a lot of stuff like Gary Vaynerchuk and like very uplifting, like content creators that just really help in social media world. So like, I mean, it's cool to have the check mark and everything like that. But like, I'm just so grateful and thankful that the people that just watch my content, like, I think it's just so fun to like be able to put bands out like yourselves to get that opportunity to like do all this stuff as well. So like, it's cool to have it. You're certified in that, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, I just feel like it's a lot of pressure to have that sometimes. In my ego world, in my head, it's just like, I want it. Trust me. Don't get me wrong. It's like, it's really cool to have.
No, it definitely shows like who your real friends are and are not, because as soon as
yes,
as soon as you have a blue check mark and people see that they could possibly gain something from you, it shows right away in their interactions. I a lot of people that I'd interacted with, as soon as they saw I got verified, their demeanor kind of changed, and they were just sort of, you could tell there's stuff under the surface.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like they thought like $1 million check came with the check mark. Like it's not how that works. Like we're still.
I was like, that's what I said. Verified, but my bank account doesn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again. You got cut out there.
I was a bunch of friends were like DMing and like saying, "Oh my god, that's crazy," and I'm like, "Yeah, but my bank account doesn't realize I'm certified yet."
Oh my god, yo, same dude. I'm not even certified. No,
yeah, you're just a douchebag.
You're just a normal dude.
I'm like,
thanks.
No, that's crazy. I think it's really cool, and congrats on that. I think it's really neat to see you guys as a smaller band just popping off like that, and it shows too, because like it's just really cool to see you guys obviously putting the stuff out for TikTok and that, but like it kind of rolls into the next part here of like you guys. I don't know if it's more of the singer, right? Sorry, I forgot your name again. Bad for the interview here. Fuck. Yeah. But like you got this thing with Chris Motionless. I think that's really cool. Now, see, before I get you to answer and tell us about your experience with that, my thing is with this. Like, I'm. It's not a thing that I have with this, but it's just my theory of like how Chris possibly like picked out some of these artists, because I've seen quite a few of them being. Chosen to do that. I mean, when I was supposed to go to the Chris Motionless, or sorry, the Trinity tour, and it got canceled in Toronto, which really fucking sucked. But I did actually had to cancel before it got canceled because of my dog having some health issues and stuff. But I'm like, I just want to do a blech on stage with Chris. I just thought that would be really fucking cool, right? The blech guy that throws and I was gonna bring hot dogs and everything and just make a big fucking show out of it. But I think because he had that little contest that was going on with the Motionless in White masterpiece stuff. Did that have anything to do with you being it? No? Okay, that was just my thought on it.
Okay,
tell them the story.
Yes.
Saying how it happened.
So I'd gotten off of my shift at work. I work at a nightclub with him. And so I got home. It was 3 a.m, and it was the day before the Trinity show, and I was just like, I'm gonna DM him. Like, what the hell could happen? And so I just sent him the message, and 15 minutes goes by, and he says, "Yeah, sure. I'll let you know what the plan is tomorrow." I'm like,
he's like, "I'm going to bed. I'll let you know tomorrow."
Yeah, I'm like,
Chris basically goes,
"Yeah, dude.
You just slid into my DMs at 3:30 in the morning asking to sing with me tomorrow. All right, bet. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah. Yeah, what happened?
So that's how it happened. Chris literally was like, "Yeah, cool."
It was the 3 a.m. before.
Right, but we have to preface that with this.
I'm sure he knew.
The fact is our manager Josh Carell was Motionless's tour manager for like 10 years.
10 years or something.
Yeah, and they were hanging out at when we were Young Fest a couple weeks prior. Josh hanging out with Chris and the guys in Motionless. And I guess Josh had showed them one of the new tracks off of our album that's coming out next year.
I can get in trouble for this. But
yeah.
I've heard the news.
So, but Chris is like, I heard one of your new songs. So, but yeah, anyway, so we had the benefit of Chris sitting with his old buddy Josh in a room and listening to Dark Divine. And then when he motioned him, or when he messaged Chris, when he motioned Motionless,
when he went all motionless,
he sent a message. Chris kind of already knew who he was.
Yeah.
He probably knew who he was from the masterpiece contest because he got tagged like 20,000 times in that. So, but yeah, he had the benefit of Chris knowing who he was and just having heard his music a week or two before. So it was kind of like, yeah, okay, come on, you can do it. I know you don't suck at least.
Yeah. That's nuts, man. It's crazy. I've seen a couple of the content creators as well that did that. The girl from Deadlands, I saw her video as well and just crushed it. And I watched yours as well. I'm like, this is really fucking cool. But I just want to say, like, big shout out to Chris. I don't know if he'll ever listen to this at all or not, but like, I just think he's one of the solidest fucking dudes out there as like a big metal band. And I'm sure, you know, I saw your video like, oh, I ran into this fucking guy on stage. But it's just really cool that, so did the whole band get to go as well? Or like, did he just kind of guest list you? Yeah.
He had to pay like some bitches.
It was like 7,000 people there, and like we were like, Anthony, go ahead, buddy.
The line was like down the street and around.
The line
crazy.
was around the property of the festival grounds.
The
it was like in the swamp. I walked right in.
Alligators were coming out.
In the swamp, bro.
I've never seen that many people there.
It was nuts.
I mean, that is like the ultimate lineup too for that tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's every like Motionless in White fan's dream lineup right there. So I'm glad they made it happen, and you got to share that experience and just have that. That is the coolest fucking thing in the world. And it goes back with Chris. It's just, you know, like I've even slid into his DMs and stuff like that, and he actually responded, and it's like, this is cool. So like, I know that feeling that you're feeling of like, you know, he messages back to say sure and this and that. It's like, it's really neat. I feel like I have like a little bit of a friendship with him, and I hope you guys do too after this. Like, I mean, if you guys get to open for him one day, that would be fucking amazing. I think you guys would be a great part for that. But dude, that's crazy. I must say.
And it's funny, like, we share a lot of fans with Motionless, so they knew, like, a lot of them knew Dark Divine, but didn't know I was going up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
hometown. Yeah. It was home. Yeah. So
dude, when he hit the stage, you like the amount of people that lost their minds. It was so cool to see. It was like, oh my God, it's Dark Divine and fucking Motionless, and they didn't know it was happening because 14 hours before that, we didn't fucking know it was happening.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, people that did it at other dates on that tour probably had way more notice than we had.
Yeah.
But it was like, in 13 hours, you're going to be on stage with Motionless. Like, get your fucking nutsack ready.
I hope you're not working or you're quitting your job. One or the other. That's nuts, man. So like, I mean, like, obviously that helps a lot. You using social media, obviously, I guess got your name in front. But like, how has using social media in a way like helped your band? Like, I mean, I think it's just a stupid question that I have written down here. But like, I know this. I know this.
Well, also, like, social media lets us have that kind of community aspect, right? Like, we engage with our fans. Like, we talk.
You kind of want to be like Chris in that. He responds to your DMs. I can safely say that we probably respond to like 95 to 98% of the DMs that get sent to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I enjoy that like interaction, like knowing who your fans are, as opposed to just seeing a username. Like,
yeah, when we went out on tour, we actually like knew their names when we went and saw them.
Yeah,
and like they came to see us, and we're like, oh hey, what's up? You know, Auto Parks. Hey, what's up? We know them by their handles, so it's funny.
You can't call them by their real names, man. Like if I saw you guys, each one of you guys would be like, this is Dark Divine, fucking makeup dude, and this,
Didi Martinez.
Hey, what's up? Hi, Didi.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and I'm the same way, man. I mean, I think comments in your YouTube videos and everything, I think it's very important. I mean, there's a lot of content creators that I know that don't even touch their comments. You know, they just let it go, let it go, let it go. But to me, in my experience, and this is where I'm coming from, it's like I've seen exponential growth in terms of like just building that communication, just people just wanting to help support my channel, either like, you know, to buy merch and stuff like that, or even just leaving comments all the time. I think it's just very important that you guys do that. And I say this to anybody that's listening as well, that's in a band, start responding to your stuff, because I think it's very important for that reason as well. When you go to those shows and you see these fans come up, you know, it doesn't matter. And I think I said this on a podcast with Full Metal Jess. I don't know if you guys know her from TikTok as well. She's kind of blown up on there as well. And she also said it too. It's like whether it's 100 people, you know, 5 people that you're playing for, those people, like, really taking your songs, your lyrics, they're there for you. So it's just really cool that you guys are actually doing that. I would say as you know, if you're an up and coming band and you're looking to build that community, that's definitely the way to do it. Do you guys have Discord and stuff like that too? Do you guys hang out with your fans at all, or?
We don't do Discord. We have one. I'm kind of a, yeah, I'm not into the Discord scene.
We do a lot of lives though on the different apps.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well too, which I think is really cool. So I don't pop in there because my name pops up and I'm like, I don't want them to see I'm in there. Every time I'm trying to like kind of like sneak in there to see what people are doing on like TikTok live and that, it pops up and it's like, oh, Ryan's in the chat. I'm like, no, just keep doing what you're doing. I just want to see how you're interacting with people and just showing some support.
Not Ohrion.
Not Ohrion.
Yeah, I got to make a troll account.
Emo King.
Yeah, no, dude, it's cool, man. For you guys, like, what kind of advice would you give to people using social media, TikTok, Reels, and all that stuff to your advantage? What would you do differently, maybe, that you could use today to kind of like pick yourself up in this world today?
So I kind of have a formula for it. It's kind of interesting.
Let me get my fucking pen because I kind of need it.
Go on.
Yeah.
Wait.
This is basically, yeah, right? We can sell it on the merch store.
Yeah, buy our package here. You want to learn how to be a TikToker?
Subscribe now.
Sign up for my mentorship. Yeah, so when a lot of bands will post their content, they'll just post their content as, you know, as is, and it has face value, and that's great, but there has to be like an extra element that is the engager. You know what I mean? So like
captions.
Yeah, and that's like your caption. That's like, so when the video that first kind of blew up for us was day 2 of trying to be your favorite spooky band.
Yeah.
That's such a small thing, but it reaches so far because it's
relatable.
Yeah, because people are like, oh, look, they're trying to be my new favorite spooky band. I like spooky bands. Let's see what's going on with this band.
If you would have uploaded the same video without the caption and without the, like, whatever, like, I guarantee you it wouldn't have had. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Because a lot of people just scroll when they see music videos.
Yeah. You gotta separate.
I'm the same way with that too, especially with music videos and that. I mean, they're fun. But like what I look for, I guess, is like, you know, Sharp Tone Records, you know, Century Media. I mean, I find my new bands in that way, but like a lot of people are also the same way. It's like they want to see different content that's not just the music video blown up kind of thing and like half blurry and shit. So,
well, and even like just having that small thing to change what the video is about. Like now it's no longer like, here's my video. It's what's your opinion of this? Yeah. And in the background, you're seeing my video. So you're, you know,
and people love to talk about what they like and like what they're into. I mean, most people will tell you straight up, you know, if they like you or not. I mean, they don't care on the internet. There's no, you know, there's no filter for like 99% of internet goers. Oh yeah,
they'll tell you if it's shit or not.
And I think early on we found that, holy shit, we're not getting laughed out of the room for doing spooky music.
Way more hate comments,
and we didn't. Like our comments, like I literally would go through and there'd be, let's say, 200 comments on something. Like 198 of them are generally positive, and then there's just 2 guys that look like they've been dwelling in the basement of their mom's house for the last 23 years.
Oh man, I'll arrest them too.
Yeah, and they'll give Tristan shit for the way he plays double bass, and Tristan will be like, "Your mom."
Give him a little of that troll back. Dude, I feel that's the same way. I feel like TikTok is a lot more positive these days. I mean, I kind of blew up a little bit on TikTok too with a really big video, and obviously the rest of my content too. But once I kind of got that momentum going with Instagram, I like in the last like maybe 4 days, consistent like just bullshit from people on Instagram. I'm like, wow, it's just a different, like, night and day difference on that kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm just here promoting people, but like maybe the algorithm isn't working in the right way because there's not a lot of reaction videos out there in terms of metal music. But it's just like, you know, why are you reacting to somebody playing music? And, you know, they just don't get it. You know, this is cringe. Why are you jamming hot dogs in your mouth? Why are you dancing like that? Like, it's like,
haters gonna hate.
Yeah. not appreciate
You
the
get it,
level
it's
of contortion that you do to your face when somebody
I
drops.
know, right? I should be permanently like this. Like,
Yeah, you definitely like you get it or you don't. I think there's people who just willfully don't get it.
No, and there's assholes who do get it and still talk shit.
oh yeah, there's definitely those people as well. I mean, I love them as well because it's just kind of funny to see like, it's just the random shit that they just kind of pop off with. It's like. One example is like for not having the band name and the song in the description, and it's like, what the fuck, man, you don't do this and put this in here. I'm like, did you watch the video to the end? Because it says the name and band name there, and I'll say it like in the most fun God willing way.
No, you did that on one of our. I think you did that on the reaction to the No Escape video that we did with Ricky from Ice Nine.
Oh yeah.
Somebody was like, "What's the name of this song?" And you're like, "Watch till the end."
Watch the end.
Well, and that's the thing as well. Like, I don't mean to give away all my secrets and stuff like that, but if you're listening this far into the podcast, content creators, I love you. I know who you guys are. But like, that's the thing. It's about watch time on those social things. So like when you're saying like this and that, that's why I don't put band names and stuff in there. I mean, Instagram is a little bit different, but
yeah,
it's because I can actually plug my own merch and stuff in there as well, right underneath the line there. So when there's like 15, 20, 160,000 people that watched it that want that song, either they watch it through to the end of the video, which gets me more plays on my video, or they go to my description and they see the bleghs beating because they liked it so much, like, oh, that's where I can get it. Boom. And I kind of doubled down from that.
Yeah,
You're doing it right.
That's a really smart.
Yeah, and it's cool because like I'm actually jumping on a podcast tomorrow with Matt Bevins. Do you know who that guy is?
Oh, the TikTok dude?
He's a TikTok dude. He's got like the Illuminati skull thing on his hat. He does like meme videos type deal.
Like he's in his living room, like going hard to songs.
Yeah, so I'm jumping on with him tomorrow because he's a really cool dude. And like before I was like, man, I'm kind of bad with my followers and stuff sometimes too, because like we kind of started at the same time and I loved his content. I tried to do some of that stuff too. I'm like, holy fuck, this is a lot of fucking work. Yeah. I can stay here and dance around and make one clip out of this, but like him, switch this, that. Sorry, go ahead.
Keem goes hard like that too.
Yeah,
he's always like
Keem be beating the shit out of this.
I know. Yeah, Bobby, is that what he names this thing? Bobby.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, I'm dead.
The one where he punched our buddy Eric in the face.
Yeah, Eric.
No, it's just really cool, man. I think it's really neat to see these kind of content creators blow up in this way, especially for the metal scene, because it's such a unique niche to actually get your name out there. Or I just feel like there's not a lot of content on there that's kind of going haywire, but there's such a big need for it in that way.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's definitely a lot of space too. I'm surprised there actually isn't more people doing it, but I think it's like because of what you said. I think a lot of people get discouraged the first time they see 10 comments that say this is fucking cringe. And it's like you got to just plow through that shit.
Yeah. You really do, man.
Sometimes
someone called us cringe on one of his videos, and he's like the only dude out of all of his videos. It's like, yeah, dude, you're in the minority here. It's like, nobody cares. You know.
Yeah, I'll sometimes bait them with like descriptions too, or like try to get the trolls out of the woodwork.
The Chris video.
That one, but also the Sally's song video.
Oh yeah, the metal.
I called it a metal remix. It's
not metal at all.
And just by saying metal, I'm gonna piss someone off enough to believe in that.
And on Instagram, it blew up. It's at like 100,000 views right now, or close to like 90.
Dude, that's part of his formula. It's to trigger people, to get them to engage, to get them to watch the whole thing. Yeah, I totally.
It's like this is really good, and you sing well, but that is not metal.
They give you all these compliments and everything as well, right? I think I've done that as well too. Like, I mean, I do it a lot, and it's just to get, you know, a little bit of that hook in there, you know, best breakdown of 2022, or like, you know, best BLEGH breakdown. And like tons of comments like, bro, this is not the best breakdown.
They think is the best. And then it's more content for you. It's like, more playing chess. I love it.
Yeah.
Playing chess. Oh, I like that term as well. That's a really good one.
You can take that. Yeah, you can take that.
What you didn't invent that.
So would you guys consider yourselves like, I guess, content creators now more than like musicians, or like, how do you think this game is going to kind of play out? No?
If I could say goodbye to all the social media and just go play shows.
It's a job. We just have to go in and do our job weekly and like post some things that we like, that we enjoy posting. But I mean, dude, in a perfect world, we spend fucking 10 to 15 hours on TikTok a week. No, we'd be writing music.
Yeah.
You know,
I do like the community part of it though. I do like,
like going live is different.
Yeah, that's fun.
Like we like spending time with them on lives and stuff, but just
content's
content's a bitch.
It's exhausting, and you know better than us even. So,
dude,
it is exhausting
on my phone for Twitch, and it's like Orion's going live to talk about best metal of the week. I'm like, this fucking guy never stops. I'm tired watching my notifications from him.
That's
unfollowed,
unsubscribe. Fuck this guy. He's outworking us.
but every time you see us in Twitch, it's always me. And I'm always like, all right, I'm going to spend like at least 5, 10, 20 minutes in here hanging out in the Twitch and watching the videos. Because sometimes I'll find fucking band. Like, I'm hard-headed. I'm like, I already know all the bands I like. There's no other bands that could possibly exist on the planet that I'll like. And then something will come on and I'll be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
And that's like what my whole channel's about. Like, I mean, like I love supporting like smaller bands and stuff like that. But like Twitch is just so fun for that. I mean, like I don't know all these bands. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole and click every requested video on YouTube. Like I don't have time for that. So like to have people like, they know me, they know what I like, and to get a really fun reaction out of me like that, it's like, they know what I'm going to freak out to, which makes, for one, great content for myself, but two, that's one of their favorite bands that now I can make content out of to blow them up a little bit more as well.
And
like
dude, they're doing research for you, which is fucking dope.
Yeah, like, it is really nice. I love you guys. If you're listening, I really do love you guys, but it's just a lot of fun.
Like Emo Queen was like, oh, check this spooky band out. There's a couple bleghs in there for you. And you were like, all right.
Yeah. You didn't pay the $5 for that reaction. What are you putting this shit in for? No, she is honestly the biggest help in a lot of this, man. Like she obviously, like she runs our Discord. She runs our merch line. She designs, which we just dropped a new BLEGH line right now as well. So if you're listening, definitely go check it out. But like she does, like all the Twitch stuff as well. Like she manages all the requests that come in, sorting them out if people want them, this and that. Like she sits on the couch beside me and like hangs with us and stuff as well, listens to music. Like, so she's like just as much in this as I am. And I just love seeing her get excited for this kind of stuff. So like, I trust her judgment as well with music. I'm like, she's like, there was another one. It was like the Raven Ohrion or whatever it was, and I just did a reaction of it not too long ago, or yesterday as well. But like it just, the BLEGH just blew my mind, and that's kind of how it created as well. Like when I kind of got into the reactions, and actually when we actually met on Plenty of Fish, and I saw. Yeah, I know. Honestly.
FarmersOnly.com. BLEGHsOnly.com.
Yeah, BLEGHsOnly.com. Wait, isn't there an actual like Tinder for like metal people? I could have sworn I might have seen Nick Nocturnal do a video on it. I kid you not. But it's just, like when she had in her description, it was like Architects, Wage War, this and that, of like some of the bands that she liked. And when she got talking, she lived like an hour and 15 minutes away. And we kind of like when we first met up, she showed me some Wage War, and like I'm like, oh, that, because when I first started this kind of thing, it was like the O's for like part of the breakdown, like the O's, and that's kind of how like my name kind of became like O, and my name is Ryan as well, so it just kind of go hand in hand, and like just blew up kind of from there because she loved all the bleghs and stuff as well, and showed me Wage War and this and that. And I'm like, holy shit. So it just blew up into this thing of what it is now. So like when I trust her judgment so much when it comes to like a nasty blegh like that. So
that's awesome.
That led us here today, and like it's just crazy.
That's a better story than our sign story.
Yeah, that is a better story.
No, it's not.
How did you get Orion? I know his name is Ryan, but where did the O come from?
I love that.
Oh yeah, that's where it came from, because it kind of
Orion.
because my intro, I don't really use my intro that much anymore for my videos, but it was what is it? Chelsea Grin by Bring Me the Horizon. I've got a secret. It's on the tip of my tongue, on the back of my lungs. That's kind of like the things that I love, the O's. So, and then I just love space and everything too. So Orion's bell just kind of went hand in hand.
Can we tell them about the connection with Dark Divine? And
yeah, you are.
What's it?
Zach?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
sorry. I
don't even know what's happening.
So the next album that's coming out, our first full length, which will be out sometime.
Oh, okay, cool. I got that question on here too. I want to see if there's anything coming up soon.
Like Chelsea Grin and bands of the ilk. So our producer actually did the new Chelsea Grin.
Yeah.
He did, what was the other one? We Came as Romans.
Crown the Empire.
Like New Crown the Empire? Did you check out that song?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like the digital stuff in there. The production in there is really cool.
So the production stuff is kind of part of the reason why we went with them, because I pretty much I did like 99% of all the production on Halloween Town's EP.
Ooh.
And I had just started getting into production at the beginning of COVID. So I basically bought my first DAW in 2019. So
okay.
I nothing, bro. Like I knew nothing. And we were writing, and I was doing all the production stuff, and I was like, this next go around, we need to get somebody that's involved that's like way above me and my skill level. And
YouTube University.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Is I refused, and it probably to my detriment, I refused to do YouTube tutorials when I got into it. I literally was like
reading manuals.
No, I was inviting friends over.
No one reads the manuals, especially if you're a dude.
He's opening text.
I was literally like paying like producer buddies of mine to come over and sit with me at this desk and show me shit like side by side, because I can't sit there and watch 43-minute videos about how to use Pro Tools.
Yeah.
That'll drive me insane. But back to the producer. So yeah, our producer for the next record, he's done a lot of that kind of much heavier than us. So we wanted to kind of get more on the radar of guys like you, because some of our stuff just isn't as brutal, I guess.
This new shit is heavy.
Yeah, this new our new record is just fucking
bananas.
It's bananas, dude.
Bananas.
That shit is bananas. BANAS.
Capital banana.
Banana.
That's how I learned how to spell banana.
From Gwen Stefani.
Bro, I've seen her a couple times too. I'm pretty sure I've seen. It was Gwen Stefani in Paramore. It was No Doubt. I remember seeing like a concert way back in the day. I think they played with Fall Out Boy as well. It was just a random fucking show.
Really cool.
Yeah. Fun fact. I've seen Paramore way too many times. It's fucking ridiculous. It's sickening.
I want to see.
I was gonna say, you told me, I think that was like one of your bucket list bands.
Yeah. Oh really? Yeah, I've seen them way too many times. They're just kind of dead to me. My ex-wife was like a super fan of them, so like now it's just like shit happened. I don't like them anymore. You know that memory kind of thing where it's like, that band, it's got that memory stick to it. It's just like,
I know.
You all got them.
Yeah.
But I went on a cruise, the Paramore cruise before COVID. I think it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie about that. But they're a really good band. I like the way that they're going, but I mean they're still a little too poppy for me right now.
Oh, there was one reaction video I remember seeing where he was like, did they just completely rip off Paramore?
Oh,
like,
MGK?
Yeah, MGK.
Yeah. Apparently it was like a sample or something like that. I mean, yo, did you know I'm actually in the MGK documentary on Hulu?
I saw that.
Oh, did you? I'm like, I laughed.
You didn't know it until
I didn't.
somebody.
Yeah, my whole Discord was like, you know you're in a documentary or MGK with Wyatt Staff? I'm like, no, I didn't get that email. Who said that they could do that? And I'm like, you know what? I've done a lot of reactions on MGK that kind of helped my channel. It's all good.
We got to do it sometimes. Got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I do like the MGK stuff here and there. I mean, his first album was really cool, very Blink-182-y. Like the features on there were really cool with like what's his name, Brett from like the Used, like, or Bert, sorry, Bert. Yeah, hey Bert, hey Bert. But yeah, that was a really good one. See, I love this. I love the flow of this conversation. I mean, I have questions and like a guidance of everything, but like I've just been trying to steer away from like the question to question kind of thing. So like I'm hanging out, an actual podcast style thing. I mean, if we were in person, I'd be like, you know what, I'm going in this blind and we're just gonna fucking shoot the shit.
Yeah.
And like I had like such a small list of things. I'm like, oh shit, we're running into like an hour worth of stuff here. I'm like, this is awesome. So
yeah, I kind of went through podcast boot camp with our publicist. She's always putting us on podcasts, so we kind of are used to this back and forth.
This is really cool. Yeah, I might have to a little bit like kind of get back into the emails with her as well. I know she was bugging for it, and I know she's watching, so I'm just gonna say I'm sorry in advance. Just a lot of life shit just kind of going on. Mainly my dog and stuff was the forefront of everything, but man, just a lot of shit and.
Shout out Tabitha.
Yeah, no, she seems to be really good and on top of everything too. So you guys seem like you have a really good setup for that, and I'll definitely dive into that with her a little bit more. But yeah, so like I know you got the song. I'll jump back into like more frequent content with you guys. But like your song with No Escape with Ricky from Ice Nine Kills. Like, how was your experience with that? And you know, like how did you land something like that? If somebody's out there, a smaller band per se, like how does somebody land a cool gig like that with, you know, one of your like musical heroes, I guess, so to speak?
It's not a fun story. That story's not fun. It's not sexy. So
you kidnapped him, didn't you?
No. So No Escape was actually the third song written. It was the last song we released, but the third song written. And I was like, just one day out of nowhere, I just was like, I think we need to go for a feature now for this third song. And we were going back and forth and whatever. And we actually found Ricky on the website where you can book an artist. And we weren't even signed yet. So we actually just reached out to him. And
was it from Tuck's website? I think Ryan Tuck from Fifth for King has a website like that.
Featured X.
I don't remember. I was listening to a couple of his podcasts as well, and I'm like, I knew there was a thing like that where like you could like kind of buy spots and features for stuff.
That's what we did. We're like, he had a set price on his thumbnail, and I was like, oh, we can afford that, you know. And back when we were having to pay for everything ourselves. Yeah. So I hit him up, and he was actually out on tour with Ice Nine at the time. And he's like, all right, I'll be back in 2 weeks. And you just send me the song. So we sent it to him, and like a month later, he sent it back with vocals. And we were like, all right, dope. And he's like, all right, see you later. And that was pretty much it. So fast forward, that was in January of 2022. He didn't know us, hear of us, nothing. So in that time period, we got signed, songs were blowing up. We start getting an online presence. And then No Escape comes out, and Ricky got tagged like 10,000 times. And he goes, he reached out to me. He's like, bro, I didn't even know that's who it was. That was fun. He's like, I had no idea. And I'm like, cool, you want to be in the video too? And he's like, sure, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yes. That is so awesome. I mean, like, it wasn't even a shitty story, but like, I mean, I get where that can kind of come from as well, where band would be like, you know, who's this band? Yeah, sure, I'll sing in it. I'm sure, and I know they listen to this stuff as well. I mean, I don't think they would agree to it unless they kind of saw the potential and make sure it was sounding good and everything like that. I have a couple.
Like Kellen Quinn,
Kellen
doesn't give a shit, dude. And his parts are always good. It's just, I think for a lot of people during COVID, you took what you could get.
Yeah, it was a moneymaker for sure. And I know a couple artists that have done that during COVID too. Like, and I mean, very good vocalist, and I know he meant very well doing this, but like shout out to like Taylor Barber from Left to Suffer. I know he was doing a lot of that stuff, but like honestly, I think it's really good as well. I mean, it's promotion for yourself. You're getting paid for you know, your spot in there, a one-time fee that you don't have. So actually, is there any ties to that? Like, does he ask for anything?
If you book an artist on Featured X, they don't get any of the back end.
Yeah, so, Featured X, if you're listening, if you want me to plug your shit in to get you more stuff, I need a discount code.
So that's actually funny too. Ricky after, you know, we actually became friends after that. Like him and I text, you know, pretty regularly.
I was going to say, when you saw him at the concert there, did you ream him out? But you kind of reached out, which is good.
He guest spotted the whole band for that Trinity of Terror show. But unfortunately, we had already bought all of our tickets by then, so it was kind of too late. But it was funny because he was like, yeah, if you guys ever want to work together in a writing sense, he wanted to write with us. He's like, I'm down to do it. I'm like, dude, yeah, I kind of want to do that, but next time, let's make sure you get some of the back end, bro, because like we paid him like $700 for that feature, which
that's not bad.
It's not a secret. It's out. It's like what he charges on Featured X. It's for everybody. They can see how much it is.
Yeah.
But he was like, damn, this song's
damn.
He's like, damn, I got 700 and I could have gotten like
some back end
over a lifetime of this music. And I was like, next time, bro. And he's like, all right.
So there is options like that on that site where they can collect. Okay. That's cool. So it kind of gives you a chance to like build that relationship with other artists like that, which is really cool. It's really neat. I'm learning a lot from this as well. Like, I mean, like I've been in bands. I've always wanted to do stuff like this. And it's just cool to hear that back end side of things. Cause like I didn't know where to turn for that. I mean, like back in the day, it was like, for me, MySpace was like the fucking shit. Yeah, showing my age now. But that's how you kind of did it there. You know, you had to be friends with these bands. But like I've also seen some other content creators make some videos on, you know, bands that actually pay to be on tours. Have you ever heard of anything?
Yeah,
that's a thing.
That's a thing.
Yeah. What? Like, I didn't realize that. So like, it's wild because I'm going to get a little heated on this because I get a lot of like, you know, pushback and other artists and stuff like that, or not other artists. So like other content creators, you know, they kind of pick on the guys that like charge for reactions. Obviously I do that in a sense of an artist would for a spot on your song kind of thing to help promote you guys, to do this and that. There are things that I have in place that do that. So like, but then when I started hearing shit like that, I'm like, okay, like why am I getting the fucking shit end of this as being a reactor and asking for money for my time? It takes me like a good 3 fucking hours to do like just the YouTube video and then, you know, the TikToks and this and that. Connecting with my audience to get them to put your song on. It's a service, but it's just like, it's the exact same way as it would be for an artist like that.
It is. It definitely is. And the thing is about buying onto a tour, it's looked down upon with other artists in the scene.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. Like they're like, oh, you bought onto that massive tour. So like 2 things, like cool that helped the band that bought on, but they're financially they're gonna get wrecked.
Yeah, they're
gonna get wrecked
on top of tour expenses.
Yeah, tour expenses plus a buy on. Unless you're selling like $10,000 a night in merch, you're gonna get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah,
$10,000 a night in merch. Wow.
Is the band that's taking you out on tour? You just created a market value for that band that's taking you out on tour. That band's market value for buy-ons for a free $10,000 clip is now permanently built into that band's brain. And now every time they go out, they can be like, oh, you don't want to pay 10 grand? That's fine. The last band paid 10 grand last tour we went out on. So now you're in this cycle. So now every band that's like, oh, whoever you can buy on, you can play with them. It's $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000. But now that band that's buying on is stuck in this endless loop of buying on.
Yeah.
Because now it's known in the scene, in the industry, that band will pay the money. They've got a rich uncle, or they're stockbrokers by day, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now they've put themselves in a box.
We just cut the head off.
And we were like, we're not doing that.
Yeah. And I'm glad you did. And I think it's really cool that is an option. I mean, if you really think you have that maybe sound or energy and stuff like that maybe momentum of where you're going with your music career, it could probably be beneficial for you guys. But yeah, it just blew my mind when I heard about that. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I guess I'm kind of doing that as well sometimes with my reactions. Like, I don't do it very often. It's very pick and choosy as well. And like, I don't want to take on a project in sense of like, Ricky might listen to your song and say, oh, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll put my voice on this and put my name on it. I'm kind of the same way as well. Like, I don't want to put out a reaction out there that like has really bad garage band quality, that. Sorry, go ahead.
And then like it makes you feel weird about like, because you don't want to be like, oh, this shit sucks, but like it's hard to be genuine. It's
that sellout kind of thing. I'm like, I'm not selling out to bands just to make money. I genuinely love doing this. I want to promote your band. So, like for a feel like this, I'm like, to me is like, okay, I believe in your band. I like what you see. So, you know what, let's work together. This is kind of like, I guess, a collaboration to a degree where I'm like, I'm going to push your shit. If one of those TikToks flop, even though I know that this thing is going to like take off kind of deal, I'll post it again until it actually does something. So
don't ever feel bad about that, because it's literally built into like band budgets. It's part of the promotion.
Yeah, we literally from the record label that has a line that says influencers and promotion.
See that's another thing I had a little bit of a little conflict. Oh, see, this went way off the track of where I wanted to talk about shit. So, but this is the interesting stuff with me, because I've seen there's a lot of reactors in our scene that just do not take any dollars from record labels. It's just this thing. It's like, whitelist my video and I will do a reaction to your thing. So for me, like, I charge a couple dollars for a reaction. So like for me, if it's a big band like Electric Callboy and stuff, I might get between 20 to 30,000, views on that throughout maybe the month, which will, I'll make probably $100 off of that.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So like, it's not bad in that sense, but like, but if it's like a brand new band from a recently signed band from a label, and to get that whitelisted, it's like, okay, it's going to get 1,000 maybe views just with my audience. I'm like, I'm going to make $5 off that in ad rev.
Well, I think I got you whitelisted on one of the reactions.
Yeah. I think that's kind of how we like started talking a little bit more on that as well.
Yeah,
and like,
and if you look at our videos on your channel, they've grown each time you've done one, and now getting whitelisted on a video that gets 7, 10, 15,000 isn't too bad.
Yeah.
No, like you said, your time and your energy, and like. If you think about it, it's an art form. Like you said, you're editing these videos. Like, that's an art form. If you know what I'm saying? If you want to get into it. So,
but you're not taking advantage of it. You're just being told for
charge more.
I mean, I'm happy with my prices, but like, it's just, I get what you're saying for sure. And like, I was going to try pulling up the see how many views that we had on that video, but hold on 1 second. I got to take a piss real fucking bad. I'm just going to pause this. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay, we're back on now. Sorry. Piss break for everybody. We're all good. But I had a quick one as we're kind of entering our like recess here. Fuck, I had it. I just had it. How did you guys meet? I mean, you guys are kind of all over for ages and stuff like that, but now I'm kind of curious how you guys met.
It was just kind of the internet. We just like, went through a certain set of circumstances.
But I mean, we were all in the Orlando metal scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like my old band opened up for his old band, and
friends on Facebook.
And his old band had opened up for my old band back before he was like ever even in it. But then we talked on Facebook because he posts a lot of drum covers, and I'd always watch them. I'm like, dude, good job, you're good. And
then he would post riffs, and I'd be like, that's sick. You want to do something? And you're like, yeah. And that was it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
They found me through YouTube, actually.
Like
I just kind of happened to be in the Orlando area. But
yeah, that's weird.
That was weird.
I literally went on YouTube, and I was really in like I had just
got into Motionless.
I had not just got into them, but I don't know why. I literally typed in Motionless and White cover into YouTube, and I just started scrolling through the just insane amount of garbage that pops up when you do that.
Yeah.
And I get to this, and then this kid, I get to this kid singing Reincarnate, and I sent it to Tristan, and Tristan's like,
"Oh, I see,
dude, I know that guy." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! How do you know him?" He goes, "He's in a band in Orlando." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "We gotta go." Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, we just played a show with him like not too long ago," and I'm like, "Dude, this is too weird. Like, it's too weird."
And then it got even weirder from there.
Yeah, it was just like I went on YouTube, a global platform, typed in Motionless cover, and like found somebody that I liked their voice, and I was like, I think that voice would go good with our what we got going on. And it turns out, he lives 30 minutes away. He's also a musician, like in a band already that's playing locally to where I'm at, where I can actually go and see him perform, and see how he is on stage and stuff. Like,
go pick him up.
yeah.
Awful.
I actually had a guy in a band that was playing with his band. He streamed the whole concert on his phone to me, and I just sat there and I watched it.
He had to leave the house. Guy's in his fucking underwear and everything.
I was like, dude, is he good? Is he good? Is he hitting all the notes? He's like, no, dude, he's solid. You should pick this guy up. I'm like, all right, cool.
So, do you not play in that band anymore, or?
This kind of took the reins.
Okay.
He was in 2 other bands, actually.
Yeah, I played guitar in a band, and I sang. And
no way.
Didn't at the time.
It's kind of funny when I see you guys now. It's like I just think of like, oh, they just picked up their instruments yesterday. Kind of thing. So it's really cool to hear like these little backstories and stuff like that. I don't remember what we were ranting on about. Do you guys? I can't remember.
The origin of the band.
Something about Pittsburgh.
How we met.
Yeah, and all the musicians in the scene, pretty much. I mean, me since I was 16 at least. And then Jay for,
God knows
how long.
Since they had wheels.
So
metal.
No, that's really cool. So I guess you guys are not full time with the band right now, right? You guys are still working full time jobs.
We're trying though. Like we're literally busting ass for it. But me and Anthony work in the same place. We work at like this nightclub bar.
So you're gonna take the time off for you guys would be a little bit of a headache.
Sometimes like I don't have days off. Like it's like if I'm not working at the bar, like I'm doing stuff for here or I'm doing content of some sort. And I prefer it that way actually. But yeah, we're all.
They won't have to be working there much longer.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So what would that look like then for you guys to like go full time with a band sense kind of thing? Like I mean, like I think that's everybody's dream goal. Does that just mean like touring, take 2 weeks off, go in the studio, tour? What does that actually look like for something like that?
We actually just bought a badass RV/tour bus looking thing. We got that. It's literally sitting in my driveway right now.
Yeah.
There you go. You guys need to make those TikToks where it's like van life band edition and like doing those time lapse where you're like making the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that too. But like, 2023. Yeah, in 2023 is gonna be crazy.
We just got a booking.
We just got funny story about that too. We got we have Motionless and White's booking agent.
Okay.
So,
I'm starting to see where these comments are coming.
They're like, oh, I see. everything we do is motionless related. We didn't mean for it to happen.
I mean, you guys have the aesthetics as well, like the makeup and stuff like that. And I kind of meant to touch on that as well, of like with your makeup being more, I guess, you know, you sound like Motionless in White a little bit, but like even the makeup side of things, I guess you guys get a little bit of backlash from that maybe as well?
Not really,
man.
No, I mean, it's kind of a normal thing now, I guess, even with Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, I appreciate that Motionless kind of paved the way. I mean, honestly, even before Motionless, like I remember people giving
Motley.
No, before. Well, I'm saying like for more current, like the dude from AFI used to get so much shit.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've done photos for AFI a long ass time ago at a live show.
Are you over there posting to YouTube right now? I'm getting notifications.
Who, me? Who?
We just got a notification from Orion Reacts.
Might be very delayed. I'm not posting anything. What channel is it on? I haven't even touched my phone. It might be delayed.
Might have been just a suggestion. I don't know, but it came up on the desktop. Yeah, weird.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I'm glad like those other bands like kind of took the brunt of like looking like freaks or even being accused of like looking like a female. Like a lot of those bands took the brunt of that to where it's so normalized now. Motionless 100%.
Yeah.
But like, it took the brunt of it kind of for us, you know, where it's so normalized now that people are just like, oh, that's cool. I wonder what makeup they're going to do next video. You know,
it's like Robbie's been a skeleton for like not even all like this band and the band we were in before that. So he's been doing that shit.
Oh, okay.
That was just his.
Was there anybody in the band that just did not like the makeup side of thing and said like, yeah, fuck that. That is not okay. I'm not doing that.
I'd rather have that black paint, dude. It's a
I will say, if I could get rid of the black paint, that would be. I love how it looks, but God, getting it. Like,
I grow a beard and I like to do the black paint on my neck because I
gotta do the neck. I'm fine with it.
I do the neck and sometimes the arms, and sometimes like depending on the shit you use, it takes a while to come off, and it's like,
yeah, dude, you look like a greasy mechanic for the entire tour.
But I do contacts, and that honestly, like that's worse. That's worse than the.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm never doing contacts again. That shit was all. Like, he had it worse.
Well, I was about to say, are you about to compare your ghosts to horror stories?
So I guess it's good to wear masks then instead of putting makeup on every freaking tour.
Well, I don't think I couldn't do that either. I'd pass out.
Yeah, it's like complaining.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. It's too hot out. It's too cold out.
Too cold.
Robbie's makeup used to take hours, and
he's getting good at it. It's like 45.
He's down to like 45 minutes now. So
you know what? In a couple more tours and stuff like that, you guys will be able to bring on a makeup person, and you guys will be able to afford that stuff. That'd be great. Just put it in your budget. No, it's cool. I think it's really neat. I mean, I was always a person that steered away from that kind of stuff as well, especially Motionless in White. I've always been a person of like, I wasn't a big fan of the Marilyn Manson look of makeup and this and that. It was like, but once I got into it, I'm like, okay, this song's really good. I'm like, if I could listen to this without seeing them, I could probably listen to this. And then it just
literally, that's what happened to me when I saw the video for Reincarnate. I was like, I wish I'd never seen this video and I'd only heard the music. And then like a year or 2 years later, like I revisited it and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a fan. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, it is really cool. I think it is really neat. And I think that's maybe where I'm picking up of like, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was saying that I've kind of always been a fan of it. But I remember like way back in the day, I loved it.
Back it was like 06. All right. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It was
That's true, dude.
I think I saw a TikTok earlier too. It wasn't too long ago. It was actually Black Veil Brides, and they were at a festival, and it was the lead singer or whoever was singing at the time were like just chewing out this guy in the crowd. I don't know if any of you saw it.
Like your ass kicked by a guy in mascara, motherfucker.
Yeah, and he got like, and he stood up for everyone. He's like, bro, if you think you're gonna come up here, and like he called him up. He's like, get up here, I'll fucking show you what's up. And like, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Black Veil Brides or anything. I've never really listened to them, so I can't really say like whether or not they're good or not. But like, I hear they could put on a good show. But like when they were at this festival, this guy like pointed him out, like just being mean to like everybody around him, the crowd and stuff, because he wanted to see the other bands, not them. And he literally kicked the fucking guy out and called him up on stage. You want to fuck with me, this and that. Like, I love when bands like take a stand for what they believe in, especially stuff like that. Because like he kept kind of mentioning, you know, like, you know, we're up here, you know, in quotations, he was kind of saying like what this guy was doing was like flipping him off, calling him, you know, like gay and stuff like that. And he just like chewed him right the fuck out and made him leave. And I'm like, that's the way it fucking should be. I'm like, if you're going to be at a concert to do that kind of stuff, like for one, like concert etiquette or whatever the fucking word is for that. But like, be nice to people. Like, why? I don't get why people have to fucking be like that.
Yeah. Like there's no space in a show for assholes. Like, it's just not a.
And again, I think it's because bands like Black Veil and Motionless have kind of, Chris from Motionless, he's one of the biggest proponents of it. Like, be yourself at our shows. I don't care what you look like. Like,
just don't be a
dick. You know?
Yeah.
Don't be a bigot. Don't be a dick. Come out, have fun. We don't care what kind of clothes you have on, what makeup you're wearing, you know, whatever. Like, honestly, it's kind of why would you want to alienate part of your audience at all? You know,
100%. And for the other respects of the bands that you're playing with, it's like, I mean, you might be there to see Ice Nine Kills, but then you're chewing out like, you know, Black Veil Brides, but like they're kind of the same thing anyway. I know they sound a lot differently, but like, man, it's just the respect. I mean, they still help pave the way for music, and even if they didn't, it's just not right to do, in my opinion.
No band wants their fans to like be rude to other bands. Like, that's just not a thing. That's not a thing that wants.
Definitely not.
No, it definitely isn't. All right, so I know I've done a bunch of reactions on you guys, and I like to clickbait some stuff. It's saying, you know, Motionless and White and that, which helps a lot. I mean, it's truthful clickbait, but oh, you guys do too. So okay, that's what I mean. Like, you guys kind of like lean into the fact of it as well. I mean, it helps obviously get you in front of those right bands. The keyword searches when you put Motionless and White and stuff like that, it really helps. But I'm just kind of curious to see like what's like what on the outside of metal do you guys listen to that kind of influences you to write what you guys are writing?
I wouldn't say it's an influence, but I'm a jazz guy. I like jazz.
Oh.
You can leave.
His face. And he's not in the band anymore.
The band geek.
I was in band in school. But I like jazz. Jazz is cool. Jazz is fun.
Jazz is cool. There's some cool like metal-y kind of jazz stuff going on in there, especially the saxophone going into metal. I think is like the new meta, I feel, these days.
Kim Drac thing.
Yeah, Kim Dragula. There's like Shrezers, whatever his name is. And there's a couple other bands as well that I've heard some jazz, and it slaps hard. Even Born of Osiris as well.
Yeah, like even there's a lot of like really super proggy stuff that you can kind of see it have its root in jazz if you really like kind of break it down for what it is.
Polyphia.
Yeah, there you go. Polyphia is a perfect example.
Yes. What about the Sorry, go ahead. It cut out again.
Yeah, I just said the alphabet really fast too.
Oh yeah. You can be very big if you sing the alphabet really fast in a Polyphia format. Actually, she actually commented on that video as well. She seems like a really cool person. Yeah, but like just the people that shoot her out on that video, I'm just like, bro, what? Like, why? Yes, it's auto-tuned to a degree. Who the fuck can sing like that fast live? Like, it's like, can you calm the fuck down? I mean, it happens. So, like, have you ever? I mean, a lot of people don't obviously know what it's like being in a studio and stuff like that. So, and it's layers on layers, and there's a lot of work that goes into it to make it sounding like it does. So, I think that's why a lot of people have respect for a lot of
outside of metal.
Yeah.
No, I listen to a lot of like, I don't know, like
Actually,
a little indie, like indie pop. There's a band I like called Laney, and they're just like a pop band. And
sweet.
Listen like a lot of like I don't know, like reggae-ish, Dirty Heads. This band called Little Stranger. They're just like Gorillaz type. But I listen to mostly metal, to be honest.
That's cool. It's cool that you like still listen to like a little bit more like smaller non-heard bands like that though.
I love getting influences from those type of bands because that kind of like dynamically builds my style behind the drums, and I'll incorporate some shit that I've heard from, you know, a reggae fill, and I'll throw that in a metal song, and it just sounds fucking cool. Like, I love doing stuff like that. So that's basically where my head's at when I'm listening to those other styles.
Yeah. No, I can totally see that as well.
Okay.
That's really cool.
Can you not tell by the production I do when I listen to?
Yeah,
I listen to like synthwave and electronic.
Synthwave. Oh, so you probably like the new Dayseeker album then?
I actually haven't heard it yet, but
if you like synthwave, like that's right up your alley.
I've heard good things about it, but I love Dayseeker, so I already knew I was gonna like it. I'm kind of like putting it back burner because that's kind of like a shoe-in. I already know I'm gonna love it, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's very different from what they've been doing lately. I mean, even their singles are very different from the rest of the album, which is really cool. The story behind it and like how Rory kind of lost his father in the midst of his birth of his daughter and everything all at the same time. Like there's a lot of emotional power in there. I think it almost made me cry on like the last part of the album there as we're kind of going through. I was like, holy
I'm
fuck.
a big emotional music person too. Holding Absence.
Yeah, Holding Absence. I've done a couple of reactions on them. They just did that EP collab with Alpha Wolf.
So my top two artists of this year was Holding Absence at 8,000 something minutes and Alpha Wolf. And it wasn't
shit.
And that was before I even did the EP, or like that was so random. And like they were just happened to be my two favorite artists of this year, and then they released an EP together, and I'm like, I'm living in I'm like, what? It was sick.
What about the rest of you guys? I mean, I think that's like the kind of the big talk right now as we're doing the Spotify rap stuff. I haven't even gone through mine. I was going to make this video of like, oh, what was I listening to? But I don't listen to a lot of Spotify. It's always the next reaction after reaction. I don't get time to really listen to it. If anything, my shower jams are like Newfound Glory and like old Blink-182 still.
X.
Yeah, MXPX is a good one too. Brand New is definitely like older. Brand New was my jam back in the day. But what about you two? What's kind of on your playlist these days?
Good question. I mean, I closed it. I had Spotify up here.
My rap?
Oh yeah.
You were kind of new to Spotify.
Oh no, I didn't see it. You know what my number one song was? Welcome to the Chaos.
Oh, that's right.
So
Fame on Fire.
There was a reason for that, by the way.
That's hilarious.
But a selfish reason.
It was
because you thought you were going to get on stage and do it with
I was going to ask what if, like, when the show happened. So he has a Fame on Fire has a feature with Spencer Charnas, and we were originally going to do a show with them. It ended up not happening. Yeah, it fell through. But so I was just like, I'm going to learn his part just in case. And I'm going to just Brian's way. Which
because we're friends with the guys in Fame on Fire. They work with us like with production and stuff and vocals.
Oh, sweet.
So we thought we were going to be playing this show with them. So I'm sure he listened to that song like 1,000 times.
But I also don't listen to a whole lot of Spotify. I have it, but I listen to a lot of like true crime on YouTube. So that takes a lot of mine.
Yeah, my Spotify Wrapped was Joe Rogan and Mr. Ball and Scary Stories.
That's awesome.
I think the Bad Omen on everybody's Wrapped this year.
I think it was.
It wasn't for me, to be honest. I mean, I think I listened to that album once, and then I just recently found out that like Bad Omens has been popping off on TikTok. And it's like, oh shit. And then I got guest listed on that show and was unable to go. I really wanted to go to that too. Who was it? Make Them Suffer, Dayseeker, and 1,000 Below as well. It was a really good lineup. I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry I can't go. But yeah, they have been taking off like crazy. I could not believe it. I think like, if anything that I've been listening to on repeat is probably the new Devil Wears Prada album.
When did they release that?
Who? No. It wasn't too long ago. It must have been like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. The rest of the album. Oh, it's really good.
When we released Halloween Town and we weren't paying attention to anything.
I don't blame you. I mean, you're so focused on everything like that, so I totally get it. But yeah, that kind of wraps up. I mean, we're clocking in pretty good here at an hour and a half on this podcast, but I just want to wrap it up, and I don't want to take too much of your time. But like, I just had a blast on this conversation, especially in the terms of like just what we've been talking about. I mean, like, we've kind of steered off the road here and there, but that's what I love about doing these kind of podcasts and keeping it fresh and just off the cusp at the same time, just having a little bit of guidance. But I just want to say thank you to you guys and just doing what you guys are doing. I think you guys are definitely up and coming in that sense of the metalcore scene. I love your sound right now. And even a big shout out to Jaden here. I definitely want to say that to him. And for those that are listening right now, the guitar player here, his son plays Fall Guys with us every now and then. Man, we haven't played in so long. I feel so bad. I just don't have time to play fucking video games. But he seems like a really cool dude, and he's good at the game. Holy shit, he carries us, man. It's just like awesome. When me and my girlfriend play it, like, where's Chaos? Where is he? We need a carry right now.
Dude, he jumps on there and he'll come out. I'm like, dude, how'd you do? And he's like, they lost the first one. And I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, but I hadn't joined yet.
I was just watching him on stream. No, he seems like a really cool kid, and it just brings the community towards you guys and myself and just the rest of the like my community as well. It's just really fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'll let you guys kind of close out the podcast here with some plugs. Maybe drop some stuff that you guys got going on. Maybe what to expect on the new LP that you guys kind of got going on that you kind of leaked. But yeah, just if you want, let us know, socials and stuff like that. What's up?
Yeah, it's pretty much Dark Divine official across the boards for the socials, but yeah, the new album will be sometime in the spring.
We were late next week.
Yeah, we wrap up the recording next week.
Oh wow, okay.
And then, like I said, late spring, early summer, probably for the whole album, and probably do some singles in between.
Hell yeah.
We'll hopefully get some shows.
Yeah, we're planning
at some
out
point
next year as far as like
touring,
potential touring.
Yeah, touring next year is gonna go fucking bananas. So we might BANANAS. If we come to Buffalo, how far is that from you?
It's probably about an hour, if anything, not too far. Cool. I got to renew my passport though. I was waiting until this whole shenanigans with the jab and everything for COVID. I haven't gotten it yet, so I haven't been able to leave Canada. What's that?
You leave your house? Do you need it? Like,
yeah, but honestly, it feels like it these fucking days. No, it's been pretty bad. I mean, Canada's had it pretty weirdly for some reason. I mean, like, it just recently, not just recently, but like masks have been on just before summertime, I guess. And yeah, and then we just lifted up our things for, you know, having a what's it called, verification for a shot just to leave the country. So that just happened not too long ago. I think it was actually in September, the end of September, that we couldn't go over the border without a jab.
Okay, well,
that used to be a thing at House of Blues where you could.
Yeah, that was all live nation.
There was some venues and stuff. Yeah, it's been weird, man. But like, kind of starting to level out and normalize. Knock on wood.
Yeah, ours was like that as well for some concerts, and that actually Architects was supposed to come through, and we bought tickets like 2 years prior, and like they were still trying to come back, and then all this happened, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what, like we should be fine, and like unfortunately they couldn't get over to Canada at that time, and yeah, we kind of lucked out in that way, got our money back actually. So it's just, yeah, it was scary going to concerts for that reason, because it's like, oh, I'm not buying concerts if, you know, I need this stuff. So I mean, I get, if you know, if you get it. I have nothing against it at all. It's just for my beliefs and everything, and yeah, Anyway, I won't get into that. That's like a Joe Rogan conversation.
That's one of those 4-hour podcast conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep this one a lot shorter. But no, dude, I respect you guys' time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and everybody listening today. Definitely get this on your Spotify playlist. Go check out their EP that has dropped. There's lots of tunes on there, and definitely subscribe. All their links are down below in the podcast here on Spotify. I still got to figure out how to get it on Apple, but even on YouTube here, definitely get that stuff on there, and check out what they got. We got lots of reactions. Definitely a lot of fun music. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much, man. We're huge fans, and this has been a blast, like, honestly. So
hell yeah, I'm glad. Out of 10, how was this podcast?
23.
24.
Oh, there you go. 5-star that shit on Spotify. Let's get it. All right, guys, take it easy.